Nottingham Forest. What a story. In my opinion, they are the definition of a fallen giant. They are one-time First Division champions, two-time FA Cup winners, four-time League Cup winners, but most notably, they are two-time European Cup champions. And when you think of the Foresters, you think of one name: Brian Clough. Today's rebuild will not only see us aim to re-establish Nottingham Forest as European champions, but it will also see us pay homage to the late, great Brian Clough. Today, we attempt what so many of you have left comments about. Today, we rebuild Nottingham Forest. G'day guys, how's it going? It is JarradHD here. Welcome to probably one of the most anticipated rebuilds ever since we started the series. Today, we rebuild Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest have been probably one of the most highly requested rebuilds in the history of the series. And I know when I did the Everton rebuild, I said I had some big plans coming with the rebuilds. Nottingham Forest is just the start. But if you guys do go on to enjoy today's rebuild, make sure you leave a like on the video and make sure you bloody scorpion kick that subscribe button down below if you are new around here. For those of you who have not seen a rebuilding challenge video yet, here are the rules. So the main objective of this is to take a team to the Champions League final. We will be simulating every single game up until the Champions League final, which we will play ourselves. We can make whatever transfers we like. Realistic, unrealistic, it does not matter. There's a big focus on the transfer window, only showing players that we sign. And finally, don't get butthurt if I sell your favorite player. Let's get into the rebuild. So this is what our starting 11 looks like for the first season. I'm going to approach this rebuild a little bit differently than normal. So as you can see, there are players in certain positions that are better rated, but I've put these players in here because either their overall is just impressive or they're really young. Because I honestly don't expect us to get into the Premier League in this first season. I'm going to build, and generally I pick up players that can last us the entire rebuild. I'm not going to do that for the most part. I plan on buying decent players that are somewhat younger and can go up in value, and then as the rebuild goes on, I'll sell them on. We'll use that money to pick up world-class players. It's all about investment and buying and selling in this rebuild, so I'm going to give that a bit of a go. But anyways, the first season, I'm going to try picking up a new left back and a new centre back, so let's see how that goes. And we make our first signing for this Nottingham Forest rebuild. We are going to sign Gianluca Ita from Wolfsburg for £900,000. 18-year-old left back, gonna be a great picker. And Kevin Akpaguma, terrible pronunciations, but he is the newest player to join Nottingham Forest. He signs from Hoffenheim for £3 million. Bit of a German revolution early on here. And our first player departure here, as Jamie Ward is off to Ipswich for £600,000. What? So here we are, 1 hour to go in our opening transfer window. Did some decent business, not as much as we do in a lot of other rebuilds, but it can prove to be hard considering our financial restraints. So Ita and Akpaguma in and Ward out. Let's see how we go, and I'll talk to you in January. So here we are on the 1st of January 2018, and we're not doing too bad. We're in the hunt for playoff football. Now, I don't know too much about how Forest are going at the moment in real life, what their hopes are for Premier League football, but I was thinking we'd be a middle of the pack sort of side, and we are still in contention for that, but we're well and truly in the hunt for playoff football, so maybe we make a good signing or two here in January and we can have a good push at the playoffs. So currently Norwich is in first position, and if we go all the way down, Burton Albion, Bristol City and Bolton are in the drop zone. Hazard won the Ballon d'Or. You can't make this stuff up. So a pretty big pickup here as we sign Trent Alexander-Arnold, one of the hottest prospects in English football. The right back signs from Liverpool for £3 million. Welcome to Nottingham Forest, Trent Alexander-Arnold. So, end of the January window, we did the business we need to. As I've said earlier, hard when you don't have too much money. Alexander-Arnold in, no one out. Let's see how we finish the first season. Will we play playoffs? Let's see. Alright, so here we are at the end of the first season, and we dropped off just like I thought we would. We finished the season in 14th position, so pretty damn mid-table, 62 points. So overall, it's not too bad, to be honest. We were only a few wins away from the playoff zone. So I'm hopeful that next season, with our players growing and some more players in, that we can make a big push for the Premier League. But in terms of promoted sides, Wolves and Aston Villa, both sides from the middle of the country, if my geography is on point, are going up to the Premier League, and we'll have a look at the playoffs in a second. And the teams going down to the third division are Sheffield United, Bolton and Barnes. We didn't make the knockout rounds or the last 16 of the FA Cup, but Man City ended up winning it. Same deal with the Carabao Cup, no Nottingham Forest there, but Liverpool did defeat Burnley in that final. The Championship playoffs, it was Middlesbrough, who are the third team going back to the Premier League. They defeated Norwich 2-1 in the final, and not that it really matters too much to us, but Bayern Munich won the Champions League and Arsenal won the Europa League. So that's the end of the first season. Didn't expect us to do too much, but we've built some decent foundations. Let's see if we can continue to grow on them in season 2. Hey guys, just quickly before we get into season 2 of this massive Nottingham Forest rebuild, I'd like to say a big thank you to OneFootball for sponsoring today's rebuild. OneFootball have been massive supporters of everything we do on this channel, and they really help these big rebuilds work. On the other hand, you guys would know that I'm a big fan of what OneFootball do. Personally, I use them for all of my live football scores. Love having that feature. As an Australian, helps me keep up with all worldwide football that happens whilst I sleep. They're really handy when it comes to transfer business. Definitely worth giving it a shot in the January transfer window. And just everything to do with football, whether it's the statistics, the rumour mill, upcoming fixtures, you name it, OneFootball will be covering it on their app. So the OneFootball app is free to download. I will leave a link in the description for you to click on, or you can head to the App Store, the Apple App Store, or the Android App Store, because the app is available on both iOS and Android. So it's worth a shot. It's free to download. You got nothing to lose and lots of information to gain. Anyways, let's get into season 2 of the Nottingham Forest rebuild. Thanks again to OneFootball. So we're going to kick off season number 2 here with a player departure. Matthew Mills off to Leeds United for £440,000. And we have made our first signing for season 2 as Jay Fulton arrives at the club from Swansea City for £3.7 million. Great pickup that is. Welcome to Nottingham Forest, Jay Fulton. Starting to get rid of a few of our older players that are still worth a decent amount of money, and the first of those players is going to be Michael Manchin. Apologies if I butchered his last name, but he is off to Wolves for £2 million. So here we are on transfer deadline day, and we have sold Jack Hobbs to Blackburn Rovers for £750,000. So here we are, 1 hour to go on deadline day. In terms of players in, it's been pretty quiet, only Fulton in, but players out has been pretty busy. Mills, Manchin and Hobbs out. I definitely do plan on signing some players in January. Got some that I'm scouting at the moment, but right now isn't the time to pull the trigger. But I'll see you guys in about 5 seconds in January. So as you can see, we're on the 1st of January and it's not going to plan. I thought to myself, let's push for promotion this season. We have done just that. We are in a relegation fight at the moment. We are on 20 points, so we're equal with 23rd place Burton Albion. And if you back out here and look at our manager rating, we are in big danger of being sacked. So it's going to be an interesting little period of this rebuild. Definitely haven't had one go this pear-shaped yet. So I thought to myself, we need to make some big moves now if we want to stay in the job and if we don't want to get relegated. So I've brought in a new goalkeeper. Alessio Crano is coming into the club. He's already unhappy, which is weird, but he's come from Cagliari for £4 million, plus Smith, a 2 overall upgrade. Welcome to Nottingham Forest, Alessio Cragno, or Crano, I have no idea. And Daryl Murphy has been sold here to Ipswich Town for £560,000. Alright, so we're going to make a signing here on deadline day, but it's going to be a pre-contract signing. It is going to be Alessandro Schopf. I believe he's pretty damn good. And we're getting him on a free, so fingers crossed we survive till next season. But next season, the Austrian right midfielder, Alessandro Schopf, will be signing from Schalke. So here we are, 1 hour to go on deadline day. We've brought in 2 players, we've got rid of 3. Well, really 2, I think it was Gabriel, he went out on loan. But Crano is in right now, Schopf in next season if we survive that long. And then Murphy and Smith out. So let's get to the end of the season and see if we survive our job. Alright, so here we are at the end of the season. Our goal was to fight for promotion, and yeah, that did not happen. We finished mid-table here, 14th position on 59 points. The teams going up are Burnley, Derby County, and one of the 4 teams in the playoffs, which we'll see in a second. And the 3 teams going down to the 3rd division are Scunthorpe, Blackburn, and Burton Albion. But disappointingly, we finish in 14th. This is proving to be one of the more difficult rebuilds I've ever done. In the FA Cup, we didn't do anything. It was Arsenal, however, who did go on to win the FA Cup. Same deal with the Carabao Cup. Liverpool did go on to win that tournament. Brentford are the team headed up to the Premier League. They defeated Huddersfield on penalties. Barcelona won an El Clasico Champions League final. And Everton won the Europa League. So we're at the end of the second season now. We might get sacked. Who knows? If I get sacked, you won't be watching it because I can't do a rebuild when I get sacked in the second season. But next season has to be better. We have an 80 rated player coming in on a free contract. We need to make quality signings and we need to get promoted. Let's end the season. We have survived. Yes, we have. Okay, thank the FIFA gods. Let's turn this rebuild around. So we're going to begin the 3rd season here with a relatively big transfer. Liam Bridcut off to Burnley for £3 million. He's getting older, may as well cash in on him whilst he's still worth a decent amount of money. So 2 more player transfers here as we do sell Jaboli Aryibi, not a clue how to pronounce his name, but he is off to Grasshopper for £3.3 million. And then as we scroll down here, our backup goalkeeper, Stefan Henderson, is off to the Swiss League, I believe. BSC Young Boys signed him for £460,000. So I haven't done this for a while. I don't think I've done it in FIFA 18 at all, in fact, but we're making a free agent signing. I'm going ahead and bringing in Alnardo Eddie Mendes Picencia. Not a chance in the world I'm pronouncing it, but he is a Portuguese centre-back. 19 years of age, 71 overall already. We're going to sign him now as a pretty decent player for our squad for free. Welcome to Nottingham Forest, you Portuguese bloke whose name I'll never get a chance. Let's just call him Mendes. And I mean, he is 2 overall less than Worrell, but the fact that he's 71 rated at 19 proves that he's probably going to be a really good player, so I'll give him a season or 2. On the eve of the championship season, we sign a massive player in Liam Kelly. He's going to sign from Reading for £9 million. The 23-year-old Irish midfielder slots straight into our starting 11. Welcome to Nottingham Forest, Liam Kelly. So here we are with 1 hour to go on deadline day. It's been a pretty successful window and we've really helped ourselves a lot considering the fact we started the season at a 43 manager rating to now be at 66 is really good. Our squad is looking really nice. 80 rated player in there, some good young players in there. Hopefully we can deliver the results and push for promotion this season, but I'll see you guys in January to hopefully bring some new players in then. So here we are on the 1st of January 2020 and finally we are up the top or near the top of the table in the promotion hunt, sitting in equal second on 46 points. We need to make sure that we stay up there, hopefully get top 2, but definitely stay top 6 so we have a chance of playing Premier League football next season, because the next players I'm about to go in for are Premier League players. Not necessarily players that play in the Premier League right now, but ones that I'm assuming will be good for us once we're in the Premier League. So it is crucial we get there next season. Looking at the drop zone as well, it is Ipswich, Barnsley and Wigan Athletic all in there. But let's get back into the business. Let's see what we can do to the squad. So I know certain people have certain opinions on pre-contract signings and how many I should do, but you can't turn up signing Maximilian Arnold, an 84 rated player who's 25 years of age, on a free contract when you're bloody Nottingham Forest and you're still in the championship. So regardless of what division we're in next season, we're going to have an 84 rated Maximilian Arnold in our squad. That is insane business. So welcome to Nottingham Forest. Next season, Maximilian Arnold. Another transfer window has come and gone. Not a very active one for us, but it will be pretty good for us next season I should say. Let's focus on this season though. Let's get into the second half of season number 3 and see what our status will be. That rhymed. Go on, Jared. So after all 46 games in the championship season, this is where it finishes. Watford and Brighton back up to the Premier League. We finish in 4th position behind Leeds and ahead of Wolves and Middlesbrough, which means we get to play in the playoffs. We have the opportunity to get into the Premier League in season number 4, which that in itself is a lot longer than I expected it to take. Looking at the drop zone, Bolton, I believe it is, and Ipswich swap positions. They are relegated along with Barnsley and Wigan. But here we go, fellas. We're going to be taking on Wolves as our first opponents in the championship playoffs. Hopefully not our last opponents. Hopefully we go all the way. Let's get into it and let's find out. Away at the Molineux for the first leg here. A big blow to our hopes as Kelly is out for this, well, the rest of the season really. He suffered a broken tailbone, but we need to get off to a good start. We need to keep clean sheet. We need to score goals. And of course, as I say, keeping clean sheet, they score a goal. Hurst puts them in front. Can we hit back? Brereton, surely he can get a goal for us. Schopf gets us a goal, but Marshall gets them a second goal. Come on, boys. Let's get a second goal. Let's not give them a 2-1 advantage headed into the second leg. Come on, 5 minutes to go. Oh dear, it's not looking good. We're 2-1 down after the first leg. At home now for the second leg. It is do or die. We need to win this game. They're 2-1 up. We need to score goals. Come on, let's put in a big performance. Oh, I'm trying not to swear. It is not looking good. They're 3-1 up. We need to score 2 goals. There's one. Brereton gets us a little bit of hope. We're into the second half. We need to... Damn it! I was about to say we need to be next to score. They are up here, but we need 1 goal. Come on. At the moment, we're out. And at the moment, we're into the championship for a 4th season. Score a goal. We're into extra... Wait, we scored in the 81st minute. We're into extra time. Holy crap, I did not realize that. We scored in the 110th minute. What is going on? What? We got through. I thought we were out. I was about to start getting emotional. Brereton scores, Schopf scores, and we're into the playoff final. Yes! The championship playoff final. Leeds United versus Nottingham Forest at Wembley. Which of these famous historic English football clubs will be headed back to the Premier League, making a long-awaited return? I don't want to spend a 4th season in the championship. We need to start off strong. We need the FIFA gods to help us strike early. Who's going to do it? They miss a penalty in the 38th minute. Thank the Lord for that. There is 35 minutes to go. There's half an hour to go. Who's going to score first? We do. Ita, our left back. No, they equalize on a penalty. Roof gets his second penalty. Finally, he gets one, but we're into extra time. Please, my heart is pumping at the moment. 15 minutes to go. Are we going to penalties? Come on. We're off to penalties. We win on penalties. Yes. We're in the Premier League, baby. It took us so long, but after 3 seasons, Nottingham Forest back in the top flight, baby. We win against Leeds in the championship playoff final on penalties. Premier League we're coming for you. So looking to the other competitions, we made it to the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup, the League Cup, where we lost to Crystal Palace on penalties. Sorry, that was the FA Cup. In the Carabao Cup, we made it to the round of 16 of the Carabao Cup, where we lost to Man City. That was the FA Cup I was previously showing you. And here's the final look at the Championship playoffs. Of course, 5-4 against Wolves and then 1-1 against Leeds. Manchester United won the Champions League and Juventus, they won the Europa League. So here's a look at our squad report before we get into the Premier League. It's going to be interesting to see how our squad performs in our first attempt at the Premier League. A lot of 75 rated players. A lot of players growing quite nicely, and of course we do have Maximilian Arnold coming into the squad next season, which is going to bolster up our midfield a lot. Hopefully we can sign another player or two to complement him in the squad and really help us solidify our spot in the Premier League. A few players in here that I definitely want to keep. A few I think we need to get rid of, but overall, I'm pretty satisfied with the team. We certainly did it the hard way, but we achieved what we wanted in season number 3. I will see you guys next season, in season 4, in the Barclays. No, it's not even the Barclays anymore. It's just the Premier League. Nottingham Forest back in the Premier League, baby. Imagine getting promoted to the Premier League and having this little amount of money. I mean, how are we meant to do any decent business with £5 million in the Premier League? That is almost a death sentence. It's gonna be an interesting season, this one is. So our first player departure for this 4th season is gonna be Ben Osborne. He is off to Union Berlin for £10 million. Another player departure here as Eric Leishaj. No chance of pronouncing his last name, but the American is off to Charlton Athletic for £430,000. So our first signing for season 4 is a massive defensive signing as Rob Holding signs to Nottingham Forest for £9.7 million from Arsenal. That is a great pick up there and for a great price as well. So welcome to Nottingham Forest, Rob Holding. So with 1 hour to go on deadline day, we've sold George Grant to Akhmet Grozny. Terrible pronunciations again, that's just a given with me, but we sold him there for £9.1 million. So we definitely did a decent amount of business with the amount of money that we have. It hasn't gone through there for the other player on the profit section, but we should be about £19 million in profit, 10 million spent. It's pretty interesting to see how we're going to go with this squad. Holding is out for a little while, but let's get into January now and let's see how we're going in the Premier League season. Or maybe we didn't sell Grant. He's still in our squad a week into the regular season, so I have no idea there. Okay, so here we are at around the midpoint of the Premier League season, and we are doing so much better than I expected. Yes, we're only 5 points out of the drop zone, but we are only 2 points away from 6th place Manchester City, so it's a really tight table at the moment. But we're in 12th position, we're not in the relegation zone as of yet, and we're ahead of Arsenal and Liverpool, which is pretty cool. At the top of the league, it is a race between Spurs, Man United, West Ham, Everton. But anyways, let's get into the window and see what business we can achieve. Also, there's the confirmation of that George Grant transfer. Turns out it went through for some reason before. It went through before the end of the window, but he's gone now. I don't know, but we get the money, we get him out of our club, and it's happy days. This game is genuinely stupid at times. Look what we are about to accept. Leroy Sané, the Manchester City wonder kid, currently 89 rated at only 24 years of age. He's about to sign for Nottingham Forest on a free transfer, basically only a $3 million fee because of the signing bonus. But next season, welcome to Nottingham Forest, Leroy bloody Sané. That is just ridiculous. So obviously we tapped into the majority of our resources trying to sign Leroy Sané, which we did. I'm so excited to get him in next season. It's going to turn this rebuild on its head, but let's progress now to the end of the season and see if we survive. The manager role at AS Monaco. Maybe that's a job for another rebuild? Let me know. So here we are at the end of the season, and whilst we didn't go up in the table, we dropped from 12th to 15th, we still completed our goal of staying up in the Premier League. The same thing cannot be said, however, about Burnley, Bournemouth and Watford, as they spend season 5 in the Championship, and Manchester United do go on to win the Premier League by 1 point over Spurs. In the FA Cup, we were eliminated in the last 16 by Crystal Palace. In the League Cup, we didn't even make the last 16. Chelsea won the Champions League, and Villarreal won the Europa League. So season number 4 was definitely a success. Season 5 with Leroy Sané, that still sounds weird. Should be good, should be interesting. Let's get into it right now. We're going to kick off season number 5 with a player departure. Barry Mackay is off to Stoke City for £12.6 million. No point keeping him around when we've got Leroy Sané to take his spot. So what I said at the start of this rebuild was I wanted to bring in players that I could later use as pawns or sell in to get bigger players. We've done just that, as we've brought Alisson from AS Roma into the club for £18 million, plus our old goalkeeper Cranio. Now that is a 7 overall increase. That makes our squad so much better. So welcome to Nottingham Forest, Alisson. So I mean, like, with Alisson coming in and with Leroy Sané in and Arnold growing and all these players growing, our squad is starting to resemble a half-decent team. Again, another transfer deadline day has come and gone. It's so hard to make significant deals with the limited amount of money that we have. So we've only been able to bring in Alisson, we've gotten rid of Cranio and Mackay, and this is what our squad looks like. It's slowly but surely getting there. Might make 1 or 2 more pre-contract signings in January and hopefully get our squad to a decent level for season 6, but we'll see about that. I'll see you guys halfway through the season. Also, what a weird sight this is. Leroy Sané, player of the month at not even Manchester City, Nottingham Forest. That is odd. Alright, so we are 18 games into the season, 2022, 1st of January, and we're in 6th position. Yep, 6th position with Nottingham Forest. Equal 5th, I guess, but Man United ahead on goal difference. Now, I was thinking we should go for a mid-table spot. That is definitely still on the cards, but imagine if we qualified for the Champions League or even the Europa League in Season 6. That would be mental. Also, maybe even more shockingly, Arsenal are in the relegation zone, but Chelsea are leading the league. So I'm thinking, considering the limited amount of funds we have, I'm going to be going in for more pre-contract signings. Some of you love them, some of you hate them. But a few rebuilds ago, I asked and I said, this would be the definitive action, this would be the definitive standpoint I have on pre-contracts. I said, what are your opinion on them? And the overwhelming majority said, do them. They're in the game, they're not cheating, they're there, so exploit them. So exploit them is what I will be doing. Oh, guys, this is just ridiculous. Another amazing Premier League talent, another 90 rated player coming to Nottingham Forest next season. Dele Alli signing on a free transfer from Spurs. Oh my god, £160,000 a week, a signing bonus of £2 million. Next season, Dele Alli, welcome to Nottingham Forest. That is just crazy to think about. Guys, this is just getting beyond stupid. I'm gonna stop myself here, okay? We've signed ourselves another pre-contract player. It's Gelson Martins from Red Bull Leipzig coming in next season, 88 rated. He's gonna be our new right midfielder. Honestly, our offense is going to be something else. I need to put the brakes on there because it's starting to get ridiculous, but welcome to Nottingham Forest, Martins. So that's the end of another transfer window. This has really been one of the weirdest rebuilds so far. So we've brought in Dele Alli and Gelson Martins for next season, and we did get transfer offers for certain players that I am considering selling, but I'm going to hold off on selling those players until next year, until we can use that money to go in for players that can increase the squad and give us a good run. But it'll be interesting to see where we finish the season. Let's simulate and see how season 5 ends. Unfortunately, no Champions League football. We finish in 7th position though, which is a vast improvement on last season, and I'm pretty confident with Martins and Dele Alli and hopefully one more signing next season, we can make Champions League for season, what would that be, season 7? But anyways, Chelsea do go on to win the Premier League. Southampton gave them a real good run for their money though. Arsenal got out of the drop zone, but it is West Ham, Sunderland and Derby going down. Brighton did go on to win the FA Cup. We were nowhere to be seen though. Also, can I point out how much blue there is on the left hand side of that draw? And we made it all the way to the semi-finals of the League Cup, but unfortunately we lost to Man City. Atletico Madrid won the Champions League, and Napoli, they won the Europa League. So here's a look at our squad report at the end of season 5. This squad is starting to turn into something pretty damn good, considering how long it took us to get out of the championship and really get going. We have gone full speed ahead, and we've brought in some pretty crazy players. All I can say is that pre-contracts are OP as the F word. I was gonna swear, but family friendly. Want to monetize this video? Leroy Sané, 92 rated, that is insane. So season 6 is gonna be quite interesting. Let's get into it now. Let's see Dele Alli and Gelson Martins there. Come on, Nottingham Forest. So we're kicking off season number 6 here with a player departure. The young regen free agent bloke we signed in, I think, season 2 or 3, has been sold to Fluminense. Now, I didn't want to sell him. He's developing quite nicely, but you'll see why I sold him in a second. At least, I hope you'll see. That means it worked out. So, we've been able to do just what I wanted to do. We've signed Jesus Vallejo, the centre-back from Real Madrid. Now, as you can see, he's valued at 28 million, but he had a release clause of only 22.5. So, we've paid the release clause. We've brought him in. Welcome to Nottingham Forest, Jesus Vallejo. Here we are on transfer deadline day. Our backup striker, Jason Cummings, is off to the Molineux. He is off to Wolverhampton for £7.6 million. Best of luck, Jason. So, 1 hour to go. Again, we're going brick by brick in this rebuild. Our squad's looking real nice at the moment. We're going to be in with a chance of Champions League football, especially with that midfield, but 1 hour to go. We've signed Vallejo and we've gotten rid of Mendes and Cumming. Let's see how we're going halfway through the season. So here we are, 1st of January 2023. That just sounds weird to talk about, or weird to say, but we are the definition of mid-table right now, not where we want to be. The silver lining, however, is the points difference. We're on 29 points in 10th position, and if you look up to 4th place West Brom, they're only 3 points ahead of us. So the potential is still there. We definitely are still well and truly in the hunt for Champions League football and technically even the title. But my big goal is to make Champions League football for season number 7. Anyways, we don't have too much money to play with, but let's get into January. Well, there we go. We've virtually just signed our final defensive player. We've finished off our centre-back spots, in my opinion, as we have managed to bring in Davinson Sanchez, who hasn't even peaked yet. He is 26 years of age, probably going to hit his peak next year or the year after. 88 rated, and we've brought him in on a free transfer. Now, I think that makes him the 5th free transfer in this rebuild, so I think that probably stretches my limit on free transfers for a rebuild. Definitely let me know your opinions, but welcome in season number 7, I believe it will be, Davinson Sanchez. So I've noticed a bit of a trend across this specific rebuild where January, nothing really happens, to be honest, but besides pre-contracts. But Davinson Sanchez in next season, we're going to be really like a legitimate force next season. Let's get to the end of this season though, and see if we can qualify for Champions League football. Fingers crossed. So that second half of the season was remarkably better. We went from what, 10th? Were we 10th to 2nd? We must not have lost too many games throughout that second half of the season, but most importantly, we're in the Champions League position. Man United crush the league, they win it. That top 5, top 6 really is pretty weird to see. Nottingham Forest, Southampton, Stoke City, West Brom and Everton. Looking at the drop zone, it is the 3 teams that got promoted in real life this season in Huddersfield, Newcastle and Brighton. Looking at the FA Cup, Arsenal eliminated us in the quarterfinals. And in the League Cup, Everton eliminated us in the round of 16, so disappointing on that front. Chelsea, they won the Champions League. It'll be interesting to see how we go next season in the Champions League. And Real Sociedad defeated Tottenham in the Europa League. So season 7 will see us experience the Champions League for the first time in this rebuild at Nottingham Forest. Let's get into it and let's see how we go. I honestly have no idea. Alright, so we kick off season number 7, I believe it is, with a transfer. Jay Fulton, who we signed earlier in the rebuild from Swansea, is now off to Augsburg for £18.4 million, which is a big transfer. And we're going to bolster our midfield here as we sign Douglas Luiz from Manchester City. We're going to pick up the Brazilian midfielder for £40 million. That makes our midfield and our all-round squad just world class. So with the signings of Douglas Luiz and Davinson Sanchez, our starting 11 looks legit. I know people get angry when we go on deep runs early in the Champions League, like our first seasons, and obviously that hasn't happened yet, but we have a good bloody chance with this squad. Even our bench is pretty damn strong. Lol, Man City, you wish you could get him back, but not a chance in the world. You're getting friggin' Leroy Sané back. Imagine if we got him for 200 million though. So here we go, 1 hour to go on deadline day. We've done the business we needed to. Our starting 11 looks legit. Let's get into the Champions League group stages and have a look just what our group looks like. So we are in Group D for our opening Champions League adventure. It is us, of course, Inter Milan, Zenit and Club Bruges from Belgium. So should be interesting to see how we go. Hopefully we make the knockout rounds. I mean, if we have intentions and goals of going the whole way this season, then I think we should be able to sweep this group completely and confidently, but we'll see in 3, 2, 1. We have qualified. We go 4, 1 and 1 as we finish top of our group, progressing to the knockout rounds quite comfortably actually with Inter Milan. But that is where the comfortableness stops, because if you look to the bottom right hand corner of your screen, our first knockout round game in the Champions League is against Juventus. Yep, Juventus. This is going to be interesting. So here we are on the 1st of January 2024, I believe it is, and we are sitting in 9th position, so not the spot we want to be. But the encouraging thing is the points again. We're only 2 points away from 5th place Crystal Palace, and what's that, 5 points away from Everton. So I mean, if we perform like we did in the second half of last season, we should be alright. So Maximilian Arnold, he's been here since the start, well, virtually the start of the rebuild. He is now off to Everton for £33.1 million. He was getting towards the back end of his career. It's sad to see him go, but hopefully we can upgrade our midfield one more time. So we have made that crucial midfield signing. Rabiot from PSG, but now in the save, was at Liverpool, comes into the side for £28 million plus Liam Kelly. That is a big upgrade to our midfield. So welcome to Nottingham Forest, Adrien Rabiot. So a pretty interesting transfer window here. Rabiot in, which is a big improvement, and then Kelly and Arnold out. No pre-contracts this time. Let's get into our Champions League knockout games now though. Alright, here we are away in Turin, taking on Juventus in our first Champions League knockout game. We're into season 7. Come on, fellas, let's get it off to a good start. Full strength starting 11 in there. Who do they have? They've got Geronimo Rulli in goals. They've got a lot of beasts in this. Dybala, Dolberg, Lamar. Their squad is probably better than ours. Eric Dyer, Umtiti, Rugani, Kimmich. That is one hell of a side. It's still 0-0. We need an away goal. An away goal would be huge. Not a goal for them. Rugani makes it 1-0 in Juventus' favour in the 60th minute. Can we get a goal back? Oh, we've got a lot of work now to do in the second leg. Alright, so we need a big performance here at home. Juventus coming. We need Dele Alli. We need Brereton. We need all these players to step up and score us some goals. It would be kind of embarrassing. Oh dear. Oh dear. They get an away goal. We need to score 3 goals now. I think we're going to get eliminated in the last 16, fellas. Nah, we're gone. We are gone. We are dead and buried. Rodriguez makes it 3-0 on aggregate with 2 away goals. I thought we could have won it this year, and we're eliminated in the last 16 unless we score 3 goals in the last 10 minutes. That is a huge embarrassment. 4-1 on aggregate. I thought our squad was good. Although, to be fair, Juventus' squad, including their bench, is something else. So, here we are at the end of the Premier League season, fellas, and we finish in 4th position, which means, I believe, we get to qualify for the Champions League through the playoff round. Man City win the league in 1st, Man United 2nd, Chelsea 4th, and then looking at the drop zone, it is Stoke City, West Ham and Norwich all going down to the Championship. In the FA Cup, we made it all the way to the final, where we unfortunately lost to Manchester United 3-1. Man United also won the Carabao Cup, and they eliminated us in the semi-finals of that competition. Man United have had our number this season. We did win the pre-season tournament though, if that means anything. Juventus, who knocked us out in the round of 16, did go on to win the Champions League, so that gives me a bit of confidence. And Borussia Dortmund, they won the Europa League. So to be honest, this 7th season didn't go as well as I hoped and as well as I expected. But hopefully in season number 8, we can finally achieve our goal of winning the Champions League title. Let's get into it. We're kicking off this season with a massive transfer occurring. We've brought ourselves in a brand new goalkeeper. Alex Merritt arrives from Napoli for £37 million, bolstering up our credentials between the sticks. Alright, it is time for our Champions League playoff round match against Molde FK, or Moldy Cheese, I don't know what the hell they are called, but we're taking them on here across 2 legs. The player that was out through injury is our centre-back, Jesus Vallejo, so Holding comes in. Hopefully we can get off to a good start and get through to the Champions League group stages and hopefully go all the way. Brereton gets us an away goal. I'm going to simulate it, 2-1, but Sanchez picks up an injury. Okay, so the second leg here is at home. We are without who is it? Davinson Sanchez for this game, but he'll be back by the time we have our next game. So it's Akpaguma and holding down the fort. Can we get through to the knockout rounds, or the group stages, I should say? Martins gives us a 3-1 lead. Let's simulate it. 3-1 result. We're through to the group stages again. So another window has come and gone. It's at the point in this rebuild where our squad is pretty impressive. We just need to slowly keep improving it. We've done that. Merritt's in. Our squad's looking good. Hopefully we can go the distance this year, but let's get into the Champions League group stages. So this is what our group looks like. Somewhat similar to last year's. I always know that Villarreal and Leipzig have awesome sides this deep into career mode, so should be interesting. Let's have a look at how we went in 3, 2, 1. So we qualified again. We killed it again. 5 wins, 0 draws, 1 loss. 15 points, and we go through with CSKA Moscow, who were honestly the team I thought would do nothing in this group, but fair play to them. So if we look at our knockout round fixtures, it's another Italian side thankfully, it's not Juventus, it's AS Roma, which should be a pretty tough task regardless. Here we are halfway through the Premier League season, or just about halfway through the Premier League season, the 1st of January 2025. And we're sitting in second position on 40 points, so much better than this time last year. January has come and gone. No transfer offers going through, nor do I think they needed to. I mean, Stoke City tried to offer us over £100 million for Dele Alli, but not a chance that was happening. Let's get into our knockout game against Roma, and hopefully we go further than last year. Away at the Stadio Olimpico here as we take on Roma. Now, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Rob Holding are out for this leg through suspension, but we have a decent side still on the field. Who did they have? They score a goal. Julian Brandt. Is that Ousmane Dembele? Brereton gets us an away goal, which is good, but it would have been so much nicer to keep a clean sheet. They also have our former goalkeeper in Cranio, and I guess we have their former keeper on the bench in Allison. Can we get a second away goal? Brereton with the brace. Get in there, son. A third goal, maybe? Can we push our luck? No, they get a second goal, but we have 2 away goals, which is a start. The second leg here in the round of 16 against AS Roma. We're at home, and I just want to get through. It'd be so frustrating if we got eliminated in season number 8 in the round of 16. Oh, this rebuild's taking so long to make, and they get an away goal. Go away, Julian Brandt. We need to equalise now. We need to score. This rebuild's taken me 4 days to record. I just want to win it this season. Half an hour to go. We get a goal and we're going through on away goals rule, but we're running out of time. Brereton in the 74th minute. Please, somebody, hold on. Okay. Whew. Deep breath being taken. We're through to the quarterfinals. I mean, it just gets even worse, doesn't it? Barcelona in the quarterfinals. This rebuild, it's so hard, come on. Barcelona, Champions League quarterfinals. Oh, come on, fellas. Well, I'm interested to see what Barcelona's starting lineup is going to be like. I'm sure it's going to be freaking legit, but we just need to make sure that we get off to a strong start here. A clean sheet is a must. If Barca have away goals, then that's going to play big time into their favour. Come on, can we get on the scoreboard? Dele Alli, Sane, you boys need to step up. Brereton, you need to step up. Sane misses a penalty and they score 4 minutes later. FIFA, you're doing my head in. You are doing my head in, FIFA. Come on, 1-0 heading into the second leg in Barcelona's favour. Honestly, this rebuild is doing my head in. Okay, it is the away leg. Barcelona versus Nottingham Forest. FIFA gods, if you're out there, listen to what I'm saying. Get us through to the semi-finals. Let us score 2 goals. 2-0 result. I'm asking for it, FIFA gods. I am asking for it. We need to score early. Just score a goal. Somebody step up. Somebody please. Please help me. FIFA gods, help me. Somebody. Hazard's on for them. I don't like what's happening right now. Don't let it be a 0-all. Martin's in the 77th minute. Okay, we're off to extra time. Come on. Score us another. Sane makes it 2-0. There's a god out there. There's a FIFA god out there. Hold on. We're through. Oh my god. FIFA gods, what do I have to do to repay you? Leave me a sign. Yes. We turned them down earlier in the rebuild, but now we take on AS Monaco in the Champions League semi-finals. The other semi-final is massive. Juventus, who humiliated us last season, versus Manchester City. But let's just focus on ourselves and pray that we get to the Champions League final in Season 8. Alright, the home leg is up first. Gianluca Ita is out for the next 4 weeks, I think it was, or 8 weeks. So we've put Rob Holding in his position, and then Matty Cash comes in for Costa, who has picked up a suspension. But we need to get off to a good start. Look at their side. Is that James Rodriguez? They got Mbappe up front. They got Fabinho and Baldi Diao, who gives them the lead. That gets them an away goal. Oh, it's not what we want. We were in this situation last time. Sane equalizes. Okay, I'll cop a 1-1 to be honest. I will cop a 1-1. Can we hold on? We do. But that means we have to score in the second leg. We travel to the tax-free haven. That is Monaco for the second leg of the semi-finals. We need to score a goal. Douglas Luiz, I think I called him Costa before, but Douglas Luiz is back in. Come on, let's score and let's score early. Positive vibes only, and they score. Okay, that's not the worst. Okay, so we score our away goal. We've made it up, and right now it is all equal. It is a level playing field at the moment. Dele Alli puts us ahead, and Mbappe equalizes 2 minutes later. But at this stage, we go through on away goals. Hold on, 1 minute, we're through on away goals. Yes, we're through finally. We get a shot. Oh my god, this is somewhat of relief, but we're going to be taking on either Juventus or Manchester City in the Champions League final. Come on, the 2025 Champions League final will be between Juventus and Nottingham Forest. Juventus absolutely dominated Manchester City. They had a pretty good run to the final. I mean, in terms of their results, they had a tough run to the final, taking on Atletico Madrid, Chelsea, and Man City, but yeah, it's going to be interesting. Taking a look at the other tournament results, Spurs won the Europa League. We win the Premier League. Nottingham Forest fans revel in these results, as of course my computer decides to make noises in the background, but we are Premier League champions. The three teams going down are Huddersfield, Wolverhampton, and Watford, but most importantly, if we lose tonight to Juventus, we get another shot next season. We also win the FA Cup, so we're on track, hopefully, for the treble. Oh, don't worry about that. We completed it, mate. We defeated Spurs 3-1 in the League Cup final, so we're going for 4 trophies in the season. So here is a look at what is hopefully the final squad report for this Nottingham Forest rebuild. I mean, I've recorded some long-ass rebuilds in my time, but this one is probably the longest one ever. It's probably up there with the Wexford rebuild and with the Portsmouth rebuild. And those teams were a lot harder to rebuild. This Nottingham Forest one, retrospectively, shouldn't have taken 8 seasons and counting to rebuild, but it's all a part of the journey. Hopefully you guys have appreciated it. Let's get in and hopefully complete it.
Down and out, you made it look like it was easy, so easy, lifting me off the ground. I'm moving on like it was easy, so easy. This could be breaking me down. That I know better now. This could be breaking me down, but everything looks different now.
I have nothing motivational to say like normal. Let's just get it done. Let's go Nottingham Forest. Let's take on Juventus. Trent Alexander-Arnold. Come on, fellas. Let's get a good start here. Brereton. Venus since day one on the angle, but it's a good save from Geronimo Rulli. Let's put it back into the area. Can't connect. Oh, Dybala has just found space. They go through. It's a heavy touch, and that heavy touch saves us. Bernardeschi going here to Dolberg, going to Dybala. They're passing it around beautifully. Dybala finesses and just misses. We can't be giving them this type of space. Lamar trying to do some step overs and some skills. Gets it to Dybala. How have we left Bernardeschi with that much space? Rob Holding left us in no man's land, but luckily it's a poor shot. Here we go. We're going to play that one through. Dele Alli, please be onside. He is. Dele Alli, what a save. Follow up. Martins, there it is. We have the lead. 1-0 against Juventus. Thank God we had our composure and we tapped that one in. It's been building for a while now, but finally we get in the lead. Great ball from Brereton. I thought Ali was offside for all money, but it works out well, and we have the lead. Thomas Lamar making some good space so far in this final. Goes to Dolberg. Intercepted, now we're on the counter. Come on, this is where we're going to get a second goal, hopefully. On the counter, beautiful ball. Brereton, I'm just going to have the strike with him on the angle. Oh, I thought he scored it. I was about to start celebrating. That would have been an amazing moment in this rebuild. Oh, I've tried to time that perfectly. We can't. We need to close him down. They shoot. Good save from Merritt. Not sure what they were playing at, though. Gagliardini. Good stuff from Douglas Luiz. He's had a fantastic game in the midfield. Ali goes out here to Martins. What can the goal scorer do? It's a beautiful touch to take it past Hernandez. Turns on the pace. Cuts around. Puts it in there. Get your head on it. Dele Alli. What the hell was that from the keeper? Oh my God. Here we go. Leroy Sané. Gets it off in time to Dele Alli. He deserves a goal, Dele Alli. Running sideways, trying to find an opening here. Goes back to Rabiot, who goes to Sané. I might have a shot if I get in position. Sané bangs it. It's a good save. It's going to be Martins. Putting that one in there. Win it, Brereton. Oh, it's headed away. All right, we get the corner here. Leroy Sané to just float this one in. Dele Alli, no, it's Valiho, and that is... let's forget about that. Here we go. Beautiful stuff. Rabiot runs onto it. Brereton over the top. Dele Alli, can we get a good bounce? We don't. Make the tackle. Make the tackle. Make the tackle. Oh, don't run into each other. Make the tackle! Oh my goodness. This has been comical here, but you know, I'll take it if it means we get the possession and can wind down the clock a little bit here. Dele Alli, beautiful ball to Brereton, just lacks the pace. They're on the attack here, Juve. They've been a bit quiet this second half, but they continue to push forward. Musonda, off the bench, goes to Dybala, goes to Sanabria, who finesses and misses. Oh my God, that was a heart in the mouth sort of moment. I'm surprised he missed that. Is he left-footed or is he right-footed? Still, shouldn't be missing that one. Good stuff, Gelson Martins. No, we miss it. Oh, I thought we played that perfectly. Goretzka, thank the Lord it was a terrible shot. You all know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go short here. I'm going to go Martins to Sané. Just try holding onto possession. Cut around Sané. Beautiful move. Puts it in the area. Finish it. Oh, no. There it is, fellas. Finally, after 8 seasons, we conclude what is probably one of the longest rebuilds in rebuild history. Nottingham Forest, once again, European champions. That one is for you, Brian Clough. 1-0 over Juventus in the final. Oh, that is insane. Honestly, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's rebuild. This rebuild was something else. This rebuild was borderline insane. If you did, make sure that you leave a like on the video. Make sure you bloody scorpion kick that subscribe button, but I'll let you enjoy the title celebrations. It has been JarradHD here. I'm out. Thanks.
Round 2, but you're still face down. I can't get to you. I'm in the red, so cut to the chase. What will it be today? You keep taking the upper hand, and you're leaving me exposed. I don't think I stand a chance when your feelings never show.